followed D&D history for long, you're probably familiar with this. Caverns of Thracia by Janelle Jacquays and Judges Guild 1979. This is the dungeon adventure module that has become the test by which all dungeon design is measured today. We're glad that you're joining us for this adventure. Like, subscribe, and share. They have been waiting for over 1,000 years. The things that lurk beneath the waters, skulk in the darkness, and lie hungrily in the dank crypts have been patient. All around them, men and monsters bicker for the above ground. None have been bold enough to traverse the dark cavern's depths, afraid, or perhaps wise enough, to leave the forgotten vaults and hidden passages alone. And still they wait undisturbed. For you, an adventurer, are willing to brave those depths. Welcome, everyone, back to Lioness. And yes, let's start our caller for the evening. And I know I maybe switched this around, is Colin. Because I don't know if I switched it or not, but Jasir, it makes sense to me. This is kind of what Jasir's thing is. So we'll see how it goes. Jasir also leveled up with the treasure. Did anybody else level up? No? Well,
it's probable that Nissa did, but
yeah, we'll see that when she gets back.
We're about the same neck and neck.
Yeah. Well, then, Jasir, let's see the hit points.
Sure. Yep, here it goes. Nice.
That's pretty dang good. So what's the total in the level?
That brings him up to 20.
20 hit points. You're fired. You're a 5e character now. You get him 20 hit points. That's awesome. Well, we'll see what happens with those 20 hit points tonight.
Yeah, he has other problems.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, very quick recap. I usually just jump right in, but I think since Martin's joining us this evening, I won't introduce all of the characters. It's the same thing. You're in a medieval fantasy tavern. You're about to go on an adventure. But what you need to know that is different is, and maybe he didn't tell you this. I leave this to you all. But a holy man, Jasir, a knight of the light, he is on a quest for an evil blade, and he is bound by a curse to find the blade and return it to a dark sorcerer. They have maybe found a lead on where it is. And that is basically all that you need to know. And so I'll describe when you are and where you are specifically, and then I'm going to toss the ball over to Jasir. It is let's see. It is the night of the 27th of Marta of Arok. And tonight it's cloudy. The skies are. There is a gentle wind outside. A new moon sometimes is the portions of it. New moon. Never mind. Yeah. The clouds in the skies are. You can tell that the winds are starting to pick up. It has been overcast for the past 2 or 3 days here, and you are in the village or the city of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗. 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 is in the Isle of Telgran in northeastern Lioness, and it is one of the outlying cities that was one of the vassal states of Angemir. And the Baron's army, in fact, has made a semi-permanent encampment here, which you can see just outside of the tavern window even at night. The tavern that you're in fact, the patrons of it are mostly soldiers, which are raucous and loud and rowdy. These are soldiers which are off duty and allowed to visit the town. They have constructed a makeshift wall. You have found on the outskirts beyond the forest in the hills nearby an abandoned temple. And inside you found all sorts of statues to unknown gods, or at least old and ancient gods. And you also you found possibly a lead to the blade that Jasir is looking for. Now, the tavern. Well, put it too far back. The tavern. It's called the Cahill Inn. Other than the patrons mostly being soldiers at night, those that enjoy their time off duty, there are primarily two people that operate it. There is the owner of the tavern, a kind of matronly old middle-aged woman who runs the tavern, and then a young woman who about 2 weeks ago you spotted, or at least I should say Nissa spotted, she thinks, following you all. And you tried to question her. She claimed to have a brother in the army. You also know that the other distinctive thing in this town, on the opposite side of the makeshift wall that they've built here, is a walled compound with a recently built building and silo, and all of the children of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 are required, age 4 and above, to depart their families and houses every single day and go to that school. You're not sure why this is, but it is enforced by the Baron's laws. There does not appear to be anybody that you can hire here. These all seem like soldiers and people that are not desperate enough to go into horrible places. Before I hand it over to Jasir, Jahan, you made a friend last time.
I certainly did.
Your friend, what's his name? Maybe we never even named the bastard.
I don't think we did, no.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to find it. Oh, hey.
I don't think so.
I have someone here that might be able to help with it.
Was it the guy?
It's the guy's sorcerer.
Yep, I got you. Give me a sec.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Carry
yeah,
on.
His name is Carrion. Wow. Awesome. His name is Carrion. So I'm curious, in the past 2 weeks, Jahan, what have you and Carrion been up to? And yeah.
Yeah, well, I said, so I think Sparrow's main idea is trying to keep friendly with him, like, play along with him, express interest, etc. And kind of like gather information about his master, like what he was looking for down there, etc., etc. If he has any more magic items or stuff somewhere else, those types of things.
Yeah, you discover that he does not have any other important items. Of course, you obtain the Crown of Chaos, an extremely powerful evil item. Where have you put that item?
I was having it in the inn while Sparrow was staying there.
Okay, with a locked door.
Yeah,
it's an extremely evil crown.
I will likely be bringing it on the adventure.
Okay. Other than that, excuse me. Of the thousands of coins that you all found, where do you put those?
Yeah, I mean, if we can buy any sort of chests and locks, that's what Jasir would do for the time being.
Yeah, since we're just staying in the inn right now, I think Sparrow would buy a chest and a lock.
Okay. You're able to find chests and locks. That's no problem. I'll subtract that from the total, or you'll get a debit for that. And we'll assume that's for everybody's treasure and gold. He has no other valuable items. Carry-on does not. In fact, it seems that he risked everything and left everything in devotion to this master. The master and the blade are always spoken of synonymously. So if you refer to the blade, he will treat it like it is his master. A person. He refuses to give his master's name, even to you, even when you're charmed. Because he assumes that you are joking. He assumes that it'll hurt you if you speak his name aloud. He seems to know it, though.
Does Jasir get any sensation from the gesh that he's been inflicted with of whether the evil thing that we detected seems to be the correct blade? Because I don't know if you're supposed to get an exact feeling. There's some consequence if you're not going in the right direction, right? That you're not following.
You've been given a grace period, so you haven't failed in your in what binds you to that curse. No, but he told you that it was at the bottom of the sea, and that's where you'd find it. This Carrion claims he knows exactly where this is, and in fact, the chamber flooded before you could find out where it was.
Right, I think we detected. We had detect evil up, and we sensed it under the statue.
You definitely detected something evil.
Or at least something, yeah, right.
Okay. With that,
so yeah, that's what we are.
What would you like to do the night before Jasir?
Okay, first thing is, I believe, just to make sure, we did some kind of expenditure of money to try to hire people to assemble a cohort to go south. So I'm curious about the status of that.
It's been 2 weeks, so we can assume that you, expect a messenger, that you expect some, communication, and it is working. So no army of the undead has arrived and contested those forces in the last 2 weeks. You've hired mercenaries to go and secure that town. Let's see, Coanmah, right? Coanmah, and
okay,
yeah, all seems well so far.
Okay, if that's in production, then we can probably set that aside a little bit. And yeah, do we see the young woman who was tailing us? Is she actually working this night?
Oh yeah, she works here every night. She's friendly with you.
Okay. I guess we will try to maybe listen in, see if anybody's talking about what's going on with this school. We can catch anything about any conversation about what the deal is with that.
Okay. Do you want to spend some money and see if you can find some information? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll buy drinks for the soldiers. Particularly if we notice anybody who, because I believe it was mentioned that some of them had kids in that school.
That will be about 50 gold pieces. This represents a period of time. And let me see.
And Jasir will have shared the curse with everyone else. They will know what he's afflicted with and what we're all looking for.
Yeah. Something else to note is Nissa had hired a thief to follow the girl, and the thief went missing over the week.
If you worked with Nissa, or we'll assume you are working in good faith, so you know of Nissa's operations. You know that this thief was never seen again. So you spend 50 gold over the period of 2 weeks, just lubricating the bar, the soldiers. Here's one thing that you find out from a group of soldiers. They're called the Baron's Sentinels. And this is apparently not just a regular. These are not regulars, or they're not conscripts, not regulars. These are like the elite forces. This is a part of the surviving force of the Merchant Council of Angemere. And when they were sent here, this was like a great deal. This is actually a really great assignment. And the Sentinels were encouraged to bring wives. They were encouraged to bring a traveling band and husbands, and to even woo locals and to set down roots. And they were offered a bonus. So this is something that they're not supposed to tell you. This is a state secret that you managed to get from one of them. They're given a bonus if they can produce children, and that they're kept here in this village. Some things that you'd already heard before, but just to reiterate, any child over 13 leaves for a year at least to Angemere. They're taken when they're 13. It seems like they're trying to make a lot of children, and they're trying to grow the school as large as they can, but only here. So, no children from any other place are allowed to come here. Only the children that are like families that are brought here, or children that are born here, or children that are from here get these benefits, these bonuses.
Interesting.
There is something that the Baron expects from a child from this place. Obviously something magical.
Yeah, I have a few ideas. Okay, well, we can discuss that and maybe see if we can come up with something later on that accord. Since there's nobody to hire, does anybody else have any other business they want to do tonight? Otherwise, I'm thinking we just head out to the temple tomorrow morning.
Nothing else for me that I can think of. I think I'm good.
Yeah. What about Nissa's hireling?
Yeah, Pegleg. I'm not sure what his name. I'm not sure he had a name either.
Well, Pegleg will
just
be
Pegleg.
bound in loyalty to Nissa, and so he is not available. Yeah.
And we can't, Ross, you said we can't hire anybody else, right?
You don't see anybody here that's passed through that. This is not exactly a place that's been a hub for adventure. Neither frontier nor metropolitan city, kind of in between place. The army dominates this place. Maybe that kind of scares away adventurers, or maybe they don't feel like there's anything profitable here. But sellswords, you don't see any.
Does Pegleg have any ideas? Does he know of anybody? I think we kind of decimated his cohort.
Yeah, we've not been gentle on the retainer population.
Well, if I recall what happened with that, I believe that Jahan paid for a town crier, and a large force of people was hired, and so there was plenty to pick from. But and tell me if I got this wrong, but you sent them to Coanmah.
Yeah, I think most of that force is what went to Coanmah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we hired what was left to go into the dungeon last time.
And they did.
Okay. Yeah. I can't think of any other business we would have to do this evening. So
Okay.
I think we're gonna rest for the night and head off in the morning. Do we have access to the water-breathing armor, the chain? We will probably
Yes,
want
that's
that.
yours. No, I'm sorry.
Well, it's
No,
Anissa's, but
it's Nissa's, but she said, I think we talked about that, right? Like you can use it for this.
yeah.
Wait, that's not where I'm. Sorry. The sun rises the next day. It is now 28th Marta. It is gloomy and chilly. 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside, 8 degrees Celsius. The skies remain cloudy, but the winds have picked up from the east. It is otherwise dry. It has been dry for about the past week. Well, there we go. See if you have a city encounter. Not. Let's see if you have a wilderness encounter. You do. Lovely. As you cross the fields of Vugiano into the wilderness, the rocky hillside that snakes its way up to the temple, a group of wild ox. It looks as if during the war, maybe things were better here at one point. And there are sections of the forests where you can see burned down farms and plots of land that once held families, now empty and overgrown. And as you pass by some of them, some cattle are spooked. 3 of them, hefty young bulls, bolt across an open, overgrown field. They've grown fat from all the grazing that they're wildly able to take here. No one has taken those bulls in, and you make it to the wilderness. Ah, so close that time. Gosh dang it! It's been so long. Oh well. And without trouble, you're able to snake your way up the stone-stepped path, overgrown, weather-beaten, to this temple. It has a kind of basilica-type, dome-type structure, except cracked, parts of it fallen in. You can look into it, and you can see that the center part of it, I can't remember again what that's called, but it's like the Pantheon in Rome, that kind of like dome with the top that's open at the top, and then it just leads down to a a single open floor. And anyways, that floor has collapsed into a grove. And the grove leads down into a rocky area where you can hear running water. What do you do?
So we will go ahead and descend. I believe we have even spikes and rope already set up for that journey. To go down into the...
You look, and you can see that the spikes are in the walls and the stones leading down. The rope is gone.
Well, we can replace that and maybe bring it with us next time so we don't lose another one.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and do another rope. Quick question for the group, by the way. Do we want to just head directly down to where the flooded room is, or do we want to clear out the rest of this ruined temple?
I'll ask my new pal, what is his pet on the first floor?
Oh, yes, of course. He's just a beast that I have molded to our purposes, Lord. And out of character, a troll, a large, moss-covered, powerful creature. And he's like, yes, it will respond to my commands. It guards the way. You have nothing to fear, Lord.
Alright.
Do we want to go pick him up? He can be our meat.
Is this going to be a charm?
Oh my god, that's
charm
awesome.
Matryoshka doll? Is it just kind of go down?
Right.
Man, I love the idea of getting a charm troll. That would be sweet.
I mean, that works for me. Yeah, let's...
Well, how large are the passageways? Can I go to the lower floor with us?
I'm sorry, say that again. How large are the passageways that go down?
Yeah, like could the troll like go down with us, or is it limited to the top floor?
I don't know. But currently you're in the grove. Where would you like to go first? You descend. You said, first of all, whose rope?
My rope.
Your rope. Okay, so you sacrifice a rope, connect it with new pythons into the stone. You go down. You make it to the grove, and there is a green mossy grove cast in with sunlight from above, and on the edge of the rocks there's a cliff, a sheer cliff, and it's probably 50-60 feet across, and a rope bridge, but a walking rope bridge. The rope bridge is still intact. You can hear a rushing torrent of water, as there seems to be a really powerful, deep underground river at the bottom of the cliff. And you look down, the cliff's like 150 to 100 feet below. And then on the other side of the rope bridge, you can see a stone structure, like maybe 40 feet on the other side of the cliff. Just a stone structure that takes up the whole cavern space with a double door. And a stone fountain, which is gushing beautiful, glittering water.
So I suggest we go and find this pool, which I think we kind of know where it is. We'll want to be on the lookout for, what were they, some kind of yellow-eyed creatures when we cross that bridge, but I believe that we're on a kind of friendly terms with them. Yeah, we'll want to get to that first room. I believe it had like 14 statues of the various gods of this temple.
So you cross the rope bridge? What is your movement rate for the group? Is it 9 or is it lower?
This year is 9, and I think everyone else was at least the same or faster.
Hans is also 9 or faster with and
12,
and as well as Wymond.
What's that?
Yeah, Hans is 12.
Is Wymond's movement rate 9 or 12?
Yes.
9. Okay.
9.
Great. Okay. As you're crossing the rope bridge, You make it to the edge. Who's leading the group? Who's in front?
This year can be.
Okay. Desir, you make it to the other side of the chasm, where to the other cliffside. And you're just about to step your feet off of the rope bridge when all of a sudden yellow eyes poke up from nooks and crannies in the rocks. And they say, "Do you have more food?"
We do. Jasir will respond. And we can offer some of our rations.
Give food to King. Give food.
Sure. Very well. He'll offer them some of the meatier portions.
Okay. Two of them fight with each other. One of them throws one of them off into the rushing torrent below. So you hear gibbering laughter, and then they scamper off with the food.
Right. And we will continue on.
Okay. Do you go to the fountain or the door, or do you look at the cliff or the structure?
We'll go to the door and enter the structure.
Okay.
Stone structure.
The door creaks open. It was just lightly cracked open. Inside, you see a also need this. You see the room with 14 statues, and obviously at this point that these are depicting some gods, and they each have a plaque at the base of them. There is a door. There are two doors on the far end of this room, and then there's a door on the west side of the room. As a reminder, if you want, you can, if somebody can describe it to me, you can go to a level you were before. In this case, I'll even say if you can describe it to me, you can get to the flooded level, and then we'll assume that you wouldn't go into the room, but...
Well, let's go ahead and do this troll first. So I think we'll ask our charmed chaos wizard where we can find this troll.
Yes, Lord, and he points, in response to Sparrow, he points to the door to the northeast, one of the two doors on the opposite end. Yeah, he says that closed door is his lair. It's perfect, Lord. You see, he just stays here and he feasts on those little creatures. And he's prevented anyone from interfering with our work of bringing back our Lord, our Master.
I wonder if the troll, if we establish that the sword is under the statue, the troll might be strong enough to move the statue. We just have to get it to breathe underwater, or whatever. But
so we know where the mechanism for the water presumably was from. Remember, we unblocked it, so maybe we could try blocking it again.
It's big enough to let in a sea serpent, though, or something like that. So it's going to be a lot to jam, I think.
Okay.
In any case, let's continue to that door that was pointed out.
Okay.
And we'll keep this guy towards the front so that he can rein in this troll and have it do what we want.
This room is L-shaped. For whoever's mapping, it's about 40 feet east to west. And from north to south, it is 60 feet. Except that it's L-shaped. So the bottom left of the room is where you enter. There are no exits or entrances, but there is a window in the southeast portion of the room. This room is full of dozens of skeletons. Some of them still meat, festering and rotten, hanging to them. Flies have made it down into here. They're everywhere. They sting you as you enter. And you hear a rumbling in the dark. And from the sorcerer's mouth issues a guttural noise. And let me see.
In what language, Ross?
Troll.
Ooh. Means nothing to me.
Do you speak unique languages?
Yeah, one.
Okay. Let's see. It's not Yinian, is it?
No.
Okay.
Chaos. I guess that's Drunic, right?
Yeah. All right. And you hear like him say this guttural speaking, and then you hear like roaring back, and then you hear more guttural speaking, and then you hear no, wait, and then backing up, and then suddenly something slamming forward in the darkness toward your sorcerer, about to tear him apart. It seems that their pact has failed. What do you do?
We yank him back before he gets mauled.
Okay, you could do that. What else?
If we can exit the door, maybe we can just slam it shut and jam it.
Okay, yeah, you get behind the door, and you slam it shut. And then, sure enough, and like the whole wall, just like, you know, the dust shakes loose from the ceiling, and whole pieces of stone and stuff shake loose from the wall as the wall shakes as he starts to try to tear open the door and roars.
Do you guys want me to spike the door?
Yeah, let's spike the door.
Would that be helpful at all, you think? Or you think he can bust through?
Perhaps we're being hasty.
Could
Tell
be.
me. He'll address probably this guy who's not going to respond to him. Do these beasts know the language of the old masters?
That's a good question.
I don't think this one does. They have the beings of the underworld here have long since departed from the service of our masters and kings.
Might they fear it if they heard it spoken? Perhaps a matter of instinct.
He smiles and bows. He assumes that you're, you know, like, obviously since you're an equal to Sparrow, you must be important.
I'm not an equal to Sparrow.
He doesn't know that. It's funny because he's like a level, 6 evil cleric, and you guys are like level 2 or whatever, level 1. So he's charmed. He didn't know. Anyways, you want to try to speak Drunic and see what happens? I have an easy way to determine if it works, so I'm ready if you want to try that.
Okay.
He will get, to clarify, if you attempt this, he will have a chance to he will have a chance to force the door open. That's basically what it comes down to. I'm assuming you've spiked the door.
Let's try it.
Yeah. I'm not going
I'm
to stop
cool
anyone
with that.
from
I
doing
say
that.
go for it.
Yep.
So before speaking, this little old man who's been traveling with you will tell you all to plug your ears.
All right.
And
In a gesture of exaltation and worship, not to what's your character's name again? Martin?
Aspar.
Aspar. not toward Aspar, but sort of in general, Carrion does not plug his ears. This is his jam. He's ready for his nose to bleed. And so you start to sing an evil canticle. And yes, he does speak this. And he speaks back. It turns out he is ancient. And he says, who are you? The troll says that back in Drunic.
Well, I'm going to lie. It seems like the chaotic appropriate thing to do, and I'm going to tell him that I'm a grand historian of the forgotten things, and permission to misunderstand history of the region.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he hasn't been in tune with the history of the region hundreds of years, so I don't think he knows.
I'll tell him that I've come to recover the second half of the lost canticle of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖐𝖊𝖗, who once ruled here. I'm not even sure that's true.
This one, obviously he means Carrion. This one has entered a pact with me, and he has failed in that pact. He promised me glory and feasting. I have nearly starved here. If you are
on what would you feast?
If you are what you say you are, then I would feast on the bones of men and many. So
what about the bones of one man but mighty?
If you slay him, that will do.
Okay. The old man will come over and whisper to the one who has this chaos sorcerer charmed and intimate to him that is an offer that has been made. As you can just feed him this guy. I don't know if that's... Perhaps he's too valuable.
And to clarify, basically what he's saying is he wants you to prove who you are, and to him it's a simple matter. If you are what you say you are, then providing ample sacrifices and human blood won't be a problem for you. And if you say, well, I'll provide you this one great man, then to him you must prove that you're worthy of defeating it. And then he'll eagerly serve you if you do. It turns out he didn't charm this monster. He made a deal with it.
Okay.
We have a giant of some kind in the second level of this cavern, which is also evil and not really our ally. So if we wanted to hunt that down, that would be another potential offer.
Yeah, I wonder if you could maybe try to pit those two try to make an offer that pits those two against each other, the giant on the second floor versus this giant on the first floor.
Which of them do you want on your side in the end?
Neither.
Yeah, they can both.
Which of them do you want alive to help guide you through this place for the longest?
Troll would be more reliable because the other being is just wants to desecrate this whole place.
Okay.
I'm with him. I think the troll's the best bet too.
The old man will pull out some sausages, some meat rations from his bag, and say to the creature on the far side, "Why don't you come in and share a portion of food, and we can discuss what you would like to eat next over a song?"
Discuss. It echoes in Drunic throughout the caverns, and he waits for you to open the door and unbar it.
Okay. The meat ration will be placed on the floor, and I'm not touching that door. That's up to you guys.
Jasir will open the door cautiously.
The old man will begin singing.
You see a head.
I'll stand up there with Jasir.
Okay. You see a head, Jasir, that takes up seemingly half the space of the door alone, and it squeezes its body through this space, and comes out and towers over you, probably 10, 11, 12 feet tall, and it is a nearly as wide as it is tall, odd-shaped, very inhuman creature, And then it says again in Drunic, now that everyone's ears are unplugged, it says discuss in Drunic, and it echoes in everyone's ears. You feel like your ears feel like they're stabbed, and you reach up and you can feel blood running down your cheek.
Okay. At this point, the old man will cast Charm Person.
That would not work.
It won't work because it's a monster. Forget that.
Yeah,
Okay, well then
so-
I've offered it food and we can.
So it will accept
I
the deal.
yield the floor back to you. That's all I can do.
If the deal is to go to this other monster, and then what he will want you to do is he'll want you to prove that you are a master of chaos by slaying it in front of him, and then offering it to him. And if you do that, then he will believe you are who you are and serve you faithfully.
Okay. So I think that should work okay. We'll accept that deal, and we'll set about finding this giant.
Okay.
The little old man will bow deep and fall back to the rear of the party.
The other giant is unknown if it's a person. It's probably still a monster. It has some centipedes with it, giant centipedes. They're not too strong. That's the main thing to watch out for with that.
Okay. You leave this horrible smelling room, bitten with flies and insects, covered. The room is covered with small centipedes and things devouring the remains of the dead. And you go back into the room with 14 statues. What do you do next?
So I can describe how.
Yeah, I should also note, this thing he says basically, if you betray him or you don't do this quickly, he will feast on you.
I can describe using the maps how to at least get down to the room where we saw that giant creature last time. If that's how you want to handle that.
Sure, you can do that from here.
Okay, so from the room with the 14 statues, we would go out the northern door more on the west side. There should be a staircase again to the northwest of us that we would descend down. That should take us to an octagonal room, and we would go east through a door, and then east through another door. Then we would go south into a room with a statue of a guy with a spear.
And here, I think at that point, you would have to navigate on that level. So here you are. You're in an octagonal room. Let's see here. Octagon, a big stop sign. Oops. Well, that's fine. And there's a door to the north. There's the stairs that you came down. And there's a door to the east. To the east door, there's a stone that's been moved to the side, and you can hear a strange noise coming from the open door to the north. It's covered in murals, and this octagonal room is also has murals. It has artful depictions of the gods in the first room, but they've been covered in soot and defaced and scratched once more.
Actually, I remember that we could hear stuff all over from that northern hallway.
Yes.
So if someone wants to go into that hallway and listen, maybe we can discern where the other creature is. And just here can volunteer to do that because we don't have Nissa, who's probably the best at that.
Okay.
So yeah, just here we'll do that. We'll go into that northern hall.
You go into the northern hall. It goes on for 40 feet. It's about 15 feet tall. And It has beautiful, breathtaking depictions of stars and constellations and patterns. Is Sparrow or Asper nearby?
I believe we would still be in the octagonal room unless the whole party's going into the northern hallway.
Okay. So if it's Jahan, there's a door on the north end. You can see, let's see. Yes. So constellations, patterns, points of light, all like in different patterns and constellations. You listen for 10 minutes and suddenly your senses are overwhelmed and you can hear the sound of buzzing. It's like you can hear it behind you. You can tell that it's far away. And you realize it was the sound of buzzing. You think it's just stuck in your ear, but it was the sound of the buzzing of insects in the room with all of the creatures. And then you hear, and you think this is also far away from where you came, you hear the sound of skittering and gibbering and bickering of the little creatures.
So it's more like a history of things you've been through. Okay.
Yeah. Where we've been rather than what's around us.
Yeah. I will return to the octagonal room, and I guess we'll just count on hoping to find the giant where we found him last time. So we will go through the east door together.
Okay. You go through the east door. It's a square room with an alcove in the southeast corner. It's about 50 feet by 50 feet. And in this room is a statue of seemingly a god over a basin of bronze working something. It's streaked with ash and defiled once more. And there is a door to the south and to the east. I think I didn't mention that last time.
I know there's one to the east.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where one to the south would be. We might need to see the room so we can...
Inside of the basin of bronze, it is perfectly clean.
Wasn't there magic, like destroyed items in there last time? So where's the south door? Would be somewhere around here, right?
Oh, sorry. Let me clear all that octagonal room. Yeah, it's directly as you enter. It's directly to the south, on the opposite side of the statue. If it's a square room, you enter in from the west. There's a door on the east and a door on the south.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and open the door going to the south.
It opens. It is not locked. You see in here a statue of a god. It also has been defiled with ash and things. It looks like this is a statue of some powerful warrior. And then in this room, it is a kind of, what do you call it? Triangular room. And on the southwest side of the room, opposite the statue, is a door. That door is covered in webs which have been torn open, like thick, powerful webs, as if by some giant spider, but they've been ripped open, and the door is I think it's ripped off its hinges. Yeah.
Do we see that is So for the rest of the group, that should be the room that we encountered this giant in previously.
Yep, I cast that web.
Yeah. Do we notice any light coming from the room to the west?
You do not.
Okay. So he might have moved on somewhere. Let's cautiously enter that room and see what we can see.
Very well. This one I will draw. It's new. For starters, this room is, you're entering the southeast of the room, and this room is 70 feet east to west and about 90 feet north to south. A much larger rectangular room. There is an alcove cut out to the northeast. It's about 40 feet by 40 feet. Otherwise, it's a square room, or a rectangular room. There's a portion of the room to the northwest that's been shattered. The wall has been shattered, and it leads out into another area beyond. Inside this room is simple bed chambers for those who ever used to live here. There are candles, but they've been burned down to nubs. There is a massive stone cauldron at the center of the chamber. It's obviously meant to hold a fire, and it has overlooking it the lady that you saw on the fountain on the first floor before you went into the building. She sort of mournfully looks down at the basin that has, it's like one of those basins that's meant for fire, and there's like oil and stuff in it. There is a disgusting pile of like refuse and beds and stuff that has just been turned into like a wad in the corner. Obviously the thing's bed in the past. It has chunks of statues at its base forming a circle around it. And from this bed, you hear rustling, and suddenly it tears open on two ends, and two large things come out from the bed. These things with hundreds of legs. They're probably the length of a horse, probably waist high, and they rush towards you. There's two of them. What do you do?
I think we could go back into the previous room and fight them there. Or no, you said the door was shattered. Yeah, let's just take him out.
The troll stands back and watches.
The old man calls it a coward. He berates it.
It growls.
So, Jasir will be in the front. Any other warriors who want to be... We'll attack with his warhammer when we're good to go.
Okay.
I think Farah will just throw dots at the closest one.
All right, so no spells?
No spells.
Okay. Let's see. Roll for initiative, please, Jasir. 6. 3, you are able to act first. If anyone is moving into, I assume, melee, or maybe to flank, let me know. I'll just keep it theater of the mind. I won't put your tokens down yet. If you're firing a missile, roll a d20 to hit. Your target is ascending armor class 15.
All right. And I can throw 3 missiles, correct?
With darts, yeah?
Yes.
Is anyone closing to melee?
Jasir is.
Jasir, okay.
Yeah.
Waymond as well.
All right. These are, to perhaps anticipate your question, they are not one hit die. Hit dice.
So I think only one of these hits.
It looks like you get a +1?
Yes.
Looks like,
So
yeah,
6.
one of them hit. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Right. So that is 1d3 damage. Da-da-da.
You said AC.
15.
I'm sorry, 15. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, so 2 to 1 of them.
It squeals. Okay. All right. Then you move. They are going to stay in place with the heroes. Well, is it just Jasir that moved to melee with them?
No, Waymond.
I'm sorry, Wyman as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Wyman and Jasir. All right. And then let's see. Melee, Wyman and Jasir. You can attack if you wish.
Oh, sorry.
misses.
Somehow I rolled that as Wymond, but I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
an
a wrong
additional
character.
5 points of damage from darts from the little old man.
Nice.
The one on the left.
You slay one of them.
Oh. How fortunate.
And it looks like Wyman got a 17.
Yeah. And that's for 4 damage.
4 damage. Nice. You what type of weapon do you have again?
A spear.
Wyman raises his spear and stabs it right into its center, and it, like, what do you call it? Supines. It like curls up in pain and wiggles around under your spear and tries to writhe around to come around and bite you. And that is in fact what it's going to try to do underneath your spear, Wyman. Yet misses. And then you hear loud footsteps coming from the broken wall to the northwest. What do you all do?
If we're in the next round, Jasir will prepare a spell.
Okay. What spell?
It's going to be Hold Person.
Hold person. All right.
Yes.
Are you going to target this thing?
No, I'm going to target what comes through.
If I recall correctly, because I think this came up, I don't think you have to see it. I think hold person I think you don't have to see it, right?
I think you
Target's-
declare your target when the spell resolves, because otherwise you would have situations where you like declare a fireball on someone who gets killed before in the missile round. And then what happens to the spell?
Same as Charm Person.
Why do I have the book of options up? That's not very useful. Ugh. This is too important. Too important. I need to know the details on this one, including like what it affects and everything. Okay.
I'll also declare a spell.
Ooh, what are you
I'll
going to
post it in the Leonos.
Well, I guess first,
chat.
my mage companion. What spells does he have prepared? He had web, right?
Yeah, he has web. I can look
Okay.
him up in a second. Tell you. Let's see. Hold
Okay.
person, cleric, D4 persons. Same parameters as charm person. Completely immobilized unless they get a saving throw. Single person at -2, which you said you're going to do the single person, and so it doesn't specify anything, and so that works. Okay.
If it is Charm Person, though, then Charm Person says this spell affects living bipeds of human size or smaller, and that is not. He's not human size.
Do you want to save the spell? Very obvious that this thing is not human size. You literally hear the ground shaking.
Yeah, no, I'll save the spell.
Okay. All right. And then you were gonna. Oh, you wanted to know the spells. Do you want to know the guy's spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
What spells he has? Yeah.
He's got. Let's see. Where's he at? Mission Rectory. Magic Missile, Sleep, Web, and Wizard Lock.
Okay. Well, so I'll have him prepare magic missile, I suppose, and I'll prepare web.
Okay. All right. I think, yeah, that's right. All right. So let's see. Where were we? This thing already attacked next round. You've declared your spells, and roll for initiative, please. Nice. You love to see it. Oh, simultaneous. There you go. Okay. In that case, if anybody fires a missile, you have a chance of hitting 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖗 and Jasir here. So, does anybody want to move, though?
Seer will be meleeing the remaining creature.
You're not in melee. Do you want to move to the side so you get +2 to hit?
Sure.
You can
Yeah,
do that.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
you're not in melee with it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So no one else is moving. Everybody's casting spell. Oh, go ahead.
Can I move to the other side of Jasir so that they can shoot it easily?
You cannot. You are in melee with it. Yeah, if they shoot
Okay.
it, yeah, they have a chance of hitting you. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Okay, and everybody else is casting spells. So it moves and melee. So Jasir and 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖃, if you could. Oh, and this thing also moves. Forgot about that. There is a massive creature that enters the opening in the wall. It is a humanoid, except its limbs are unearthly in size and inhuman, an inhuman length to its facial features. It has glowing eyes. This is an ancient being of children's nightmares, and it is probably 15 feet tall. And it enters in, and you hear a chuckle as it looks at you and it recognizes you. And let's see, where were we? Movement, missile fire, melee. Okay, 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖃 and Jasir. If you want to attack, it will attack simultaneously. Oh, where is the magic missile going to, Jasir?
Well, that's somebody else.
Oh, not Jasir.
So-
Sorry, yeah, Sparrow. Yeah,
Targeting the giant.
the giant. Okay.
Yes. And that's also where I'll be placing the web.
Okay. Let's see. 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖃 misses. The giant centipede misses. Jasir misses, right? Yeah, 13. So everybody missed there. And then web goes off. And let me see. This thing might be able to break out of it.
Oh, actually, what's the bonus for flanking? Sorry, I didn't add that.
+2. So that
So
hits.
15.
Yeah.
2 damage. I don't want
2 damage. Let's see if that's enough. That is not enough.
to.
I think it might be able to get out of web. Web. Extremely difficult. Takes 1 turn with a torch. Creatures larger than a horse can break in 2 turns. A turn is 10 minutes, by the way. So yeah, it is pretty well stuck. It howls in anger. The walls of the place shake as it's stuck in a web, and then it's struck with magic missile. And you can roll for that if you want, Jahan.
Yeah,
magic
so
missile.
I think the number of missiles is affected by level, right?
Yeah.
So, what level is this mage?
I think he's level 5. Let me look real quick. Sorry.
Was he a seer?
Well, I have his chainmail thing doesn't quite line up with who he is here, but he is high level. Where is he at? Where is he? Sorry. Directory. Here he is. 6th level.
Okay, so that would be
3
tree
missiles.
missiles then, right? So that would be 3d4 plus 3. Alright, so 9 damage.
He howls, and you actually rip one of his ancient arms off at the socket. Black blood spews from the wound as he holds it. He suddenly, it goes from laughter to howling to all of a sudden sort of a whining, pleading sound. And he says, "Wait, wait, wait!" And he clasps his spewing nub. And he begs for you to wait. Do you, or do you want to keep fighting?
The little old man will look to the Crusader for approval, and back and forth between him and the troll.
Oh, yeah. This guy can die.
The old man tells the troll in Drunic, I apologize for everyone's ears, you probably lost a lot of blood through there today, to feast upon the arm which has come free. A foretaste.
He gruesomely charges into the room eagerly, ignoring two of your fighters locked in mortal combat with a poisonous, massive, horse-sized insect creature, and takes the writhing arm off the ground and drinks it like a chalice with glee.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. All right. Where are we at? We did spells. We did melee. We did all that stuff. I think we're back at the top. Declare spells. No? All right. Roll for initiative. Oh, I go first. Okay. Let's see. This thing is going to simply try to attack. It is fighting 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗 with its life right now. I believe... actually, I need to add its HD. Does a 15 hit 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗?
Whew, no.
Ooh, Lord. That was a close one to save versus death after all this. All right. Let's see. In that case, why don't we go ahead and resolve your all's melee attacks?
Just here, misses.
𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗? Oh, okay. And I'm kind of skipping around in the initiative order, but you didn't cast spells. What is everyone else doing? All the wizards? We have a preponderance of wizards. What is Hans doing?
And he seems to maybe
Is it
not
tech?
available to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, tech issue? That's fine. I apologize. Let me use Hans, okay? I've missed him. You guys call me out on that. Don't let me miss things here. I'm going to get Hans in here. And how many rounds have went? 3? 2, 3.
3. Yep.
Okay,
This
he's going
is
to get
the third.
+2.
I believe.
So...
Oh.
Oh, Hans, no! No!
He tried.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
The 9 might hit, actually. Or no, that's with the +3. No,
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, Hans, what is his bonus to hit? I don't know.
Which one?
What level is he?
That's what it. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Let me see if I have his level here. Oh, his character sheet isn't up to date.
He's got to be level 3.
He's got at least +1 from strength.
Okay, so that's...
And if he's at least 3rd level, he's got at least another +1 from level.
So that's 1 shy. So he missed because of that. Okay. All right, so here we are. Meanwhile, the troll just starts chowing down on this ancient Fomorian beast. Starts ripping off more limbs, looking at it while it's feasting bits of it from parts of its body, ripping out parts of it, just watching it and eating it and enjoying it greatly. And I think we're back at the top of the round. Roll for initiative, unless you want to cast any spells.
Did you want a magic missile again? Like a lower level
No.
magic missile?
I don't think any spells are required here.
Well, Nostromo might die, so just want to throw that out there. That's at stake. Okay. Well, good
goes
news
first.
is, yeah. I got you going first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is my character? There he is.
I will roll for Hans if Wymond and Jasir, if you guys are rolled to hit. And, if the wizards want to get in there and help, you can if you want.
Is
You guys
that
can
Oh,
important?
come on.
feel free to do darts, actually, because
into
Yeah.
melee?
especially
That's actually a good point. Yeah, because Wyman's more likely to die from getting hit by this than by the darts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll throw dots. Does the other wizard have dots as well, or no?
Oh, I have good
That's-
news.
I do.
Actually, Han slew it.
Oh,
Hans
okay.
slew it.
Well, that works.
even the
Saving
flanking
us a
bonus.
dilemma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
These things lay
Thank you.
dead. Oh, go ahead. What'd you say, Nostromo?
thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's so close. Wyman has adventured so far, so long, to perish to a giant centipede. I mean, you have a relative who can come back at your level with all your estate
Yeah.
investment, but nonetheless. Okay. Yeah, so this thing is slain. You never find out its story. You don't know why it's here. You don't know anything. This troll has devoured it and eagerly slams its belly with parts of it, the remains of it, smears itself with its black blood that it's devoured, and then it speaks in Drunic, which is painful to many of your ears. I am yours to command.
All right.
The old
so
man
our-
will wave it off dismissively and start extracting the venom glands from these centipedes.
Okay, you do that. You have 2 poisons.
Okay.
What is
That
this
takes a
outpost
turn,
to
though.
the north?
If anybody else wants to do anything during the turn, they may also. The alcove. Let's see here. It's just the wall. It's just a wall there. That's all.
Okay.
See if there's anything else of interest in here. There is a massive iron eye patch, and in fact, it looks like it's some hero's great shield that is being used as an eye patch on the beast that was slain on his head. There is nothing else of interest in this room.
Okay.
Except the statue, of course, with
Yeah.
the basin.
So,
Is the statue desecrated, or is it just unused? Or, just sitting there?
This one is not desecrated.
Okay. We could... Let's see. Well, you said there's lots of furniture around, right? Maybe we can break up the furniture and build a fire under this cauldron, I think it was.
No, it's a basin. It's a basin that's meant to basically, if you light it, it's one of those. I can't remember what they're called, but it's a basin that's meant to have fire, and it has oil in it. So if you just light it, it'll catch on fire.
Brazier?
Yeah, brazier.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that then.
Okay,
Let's see.
you light it.
Let's
It lights on fire, and it emits. There's the fire, and then there's a slight green tint to the lady's, to the statue's face as she mournfully points down toward the fire, and then something odd about the fire is it licks up and out to the sides, and it creates a perfect square in the basin that is cold and not touched by the fire.
Okay. I do have detect evil, so yeah. Let me go ahead and cast detect evil. See what that reveals.
The troll is evil. The sorcerer is evil. I think this is. I don't know. Did you break my rule, Martin? Are you evil?
No, sir.
Okay.
I just play one on TV.
Just. So your character is not evil, not chaotic. Okay.
That is for you to decide, but that wasn't my intent.
No. I love it. Yeah, neutral then, I see.
I'm not sure that's true either. I might be putting myself at great peril.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if your alignment is not chaotic, you don't sense that from your new companion. And yeah, I don't think anything else around here is evil.
Okay. Does anyone have any other ideas what we might do with this brazier?
The troll also devours the remains of these giant insects. He is having a great time.
Okay. The old man's going to start extracting the knuckle bones of the giant. That's where the strength is, you have to understand.
They're huge. And
good.
So we've got the giant shield-like eye patch on the giant skull. We've got the flaming brazier that has a gap in it that looks like it's about, I don't know, 2.5 feet long and maybe 2 feet wide or deep, where the flames do not touch an area. It's like an area. And I think other than the corpse of... No, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else of interest here.
Well, I mean, I guess we could try putting the shield in the gap.
Okay. Yeah, let's grab the shield and poke that gap in the brazier flame with it.
Who grabs the shield?
Just so we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. Make a saving throw.
Brave.
Nope. He does not make it. Unless, no, even with bonuses.
You peel back the shield, and all of a sudden, and there's like a blast, which is like a blast of energy that comes up, and it utterly scorches you, and you see Jasir sent back in a blast against the wall and slammed against the wall as the stones shake loose, and you take 17 points of damage.
17?
17.
I think he got a good roll on that. Last level.
Was this blast from the shield, or was this from the eye behind the shield?
From the eye behind the shield, and the shield is now loose and glowing, in fact, and we'll get to that in a second. But the eye is also glowing and still seems to be full of energy. This thing is giant too. This eyeball is like this big.
Okay. I'll ask my sorcerer pal. Do you think you can disable whatever that is?
I can. He's terrified, and this is chaotic, sycophantic servant for no, but he instead says, "I can try, Lord."
Okay, no, don't worry about it. It's better you stay alive.
Is it so the eye is glowing, but it's not doing a fire thing anymore?
Nope. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jasir will cast Cure Light Wounds on himself.
Okay.
Let's see, where is that?
The old man will approach the giant's face. First, passing off the knuckle bones and the 2 flasks of freshly procured poison to someone and saying, "These must make it back to town, you understand. Very valuable." Then he'll prod at the eye with his staff, the butt end of his staff.
It writhes around as if alive, but does not emit some burst of energy, but it's clearly magical in its own right. And potent, but no longer sending out gouts of energy either.
Is it soft like an eye, or is this some sort of false glass thing?
It is soft like an eye, but it is obviously implanted. This is some sort of magical archaeotech device placed in this thing from like antediluvian times.
Okay. He'll approach and start cutting across the soft flesh above the nose and open the aperture of the eye so that maybe this thing can fall out.
Okay.
When it gets turned over.
The eye will scream, and you see it glowing as if it's about to erupt again.
Okay. He'll shout silence to it in Drunic.
Okay, that works.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it responds to your commands. Okay. And you said you cut it out and then it rolls out? Is that, you said that?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was hoping to catch it in something when that happens. All I did was I opened the aperture so that when the head is rolled over, maybe it will be able to roll out if it's just sitting in there free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we want to use this shield as a dish? The thing that's previously restraining it?
I leave it to you. If you don't want to destroy it as a
At least
crusader.
temporarily.
Well, I
Well,
take it.
Detect evil is still up. Does it detect as evil?
Yes.
The eyeball?
Yeah, it's evil as F. Yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd still be interesting to put the shield on the fire. Or like between the
Okay.
fire.
Okay. So starting with the eyeball, well, let's, okay, who touches the shield then?
Maybe. Just here's
Yeah,
a little
I think
bit
Jasir's
messed up right now. If anyone else wants to give it a shot. I have a feeling since he did touch it already that it's not going to do further damage, but
Yeah, that's right. Jasir did touch the shield. Yeah. Nothing seemed to happen.
okay, then he will go ahead and collect the shield.
Okay.
See if it's still glowing.
It
Or-
is glowing,
no,
and it's this large round shield, very large and round, covered in symbols that you don't recognize from long ago.
all right, and then he will go over to the brazier and attempt to use the shield to sort of slide it into that space where fire doesn't touch.
You do that, and then all of a sudden green light is cast down onto the shield. It is already glowing. It is obviously a magical shield. It now has additional magic. Roll a d6. It has some additional quality as well. You would either need to pay someone to identify it, or someone like Aspar or Sparrow would need to spend a day with it, and then they would be able to identify it.
Yeah.
Or you can just try it out. You can do that too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. If it's usable as a shield for a human being.
Okay. Remind me if you get hit in combat.
Okay, I'm asking though. It is usable that way.
Oh yeah, totally.
Then he will do that.
All right. Okay. What do you guys want to do? Anything with the eyeball?
I've got a yard of canvas if you guys want to wrap it up in that.
Jasir is certainly nervous, but he is a pragmatic crusader who will use things to advance the cause of light, as long as it doesn't
Hardcore.
All right.
go too far.
So
If you want to hold on to it, I think that works.
you have a writhing eyeball and a giant canvas sack, which you heft over your shoulder, and you can remind me at the end. Remind me about all this stuff at the end if you guys want to have it identified in the convening week. Okay. All right. Or you can test it out. You can test out the eyeball. Just let me know. All right. Where to next?
Yeah, we figured this out. Jasir will ask or see if we can inquire with the troll how long he can hold his breath.
Got no
She'll have to
answer.
rely on.
He will say he cannot hold his. Oh wait, no. He says he would drown. He cannot hold his breath. Yeah. In fact, it would be a state of eternal torment, and he asks that you not ask this of him.
Ask.
Yeah. The manness of him.
Okay.
All right. Where to next?
I was hoping to use him to clear out that statue.
Well, I think to start with, we should head back to the octagonal room.
You want to go back to the octagonal room?
Unless we want to head westward through this like hole in the wall that the creature had made.
Yeah, let's check that out. We
Okay.
can get that
Okay.
out real quick.
Let's check that out first.
On the other side of that, whoops. Let me just get rid of all this stuff here. I don't think I need all that stuff. On the other side is a hallway. Come on. And this hallway is... there's also an alcove just on the other side of this hallway. Let's see, like right here. And let me see about this. It's a limestone cave. It arcs and abuts around the structure, forking into two pathways leading downward into the darkness. So there's a pathway to the southwest and a pathway to the south, and then it goes to the north. And yeah.
Do you say this was more cavernous and not as much
That's right.
like worked stone?
Yeah, it's outside of the structure. Yeah.
Okay. We can perhaps come back to this later, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if we want to focus on this area right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go. We will head back into the room we were just in, and then we'll go back to the octagonal room.
Okay.
So
you go through the east door into the room with the statue. Looks like a warrior. The north door, room with a statue that has a basin that's clean, but the statue's been defaced. It has an east door and a west door. Where do you go from there?
the west.
We
You
go
go to the
west.
west. Okay. And you go through the west door, and you have a rectangular room. This rectangular room, and I don't know if I... Let's see, describe that. Oh yeah, this is a kind of longer rectangular room. At one end of the room is a statue of hands on the south wall, with a. I think you all cleaned it, if I remember correctly.
We
Yeah.
did. It had a wolf pelt on it, and we removed it and cleaned it.
On the north wall is
An urn.
an urn with dozens of pulverized weapons and wands that've been destroyed. Yeah. And then there's a west door. And so you go through the west door, it's open, you can see the octagonal room. Where do you go from here?
So we go into the octagonal room, and then we'll be going north out of the octagonal room into that hallway of stars and constellations.
There's a strange noise in this room. Yeah, beautiful constellations, door at the north end, and then at the other side of this, and here I'll draw it again, is a long room. So you just come out of this hallway with the strange noises and constellations, and there's a long room that's about 100 feet east to west and 20 feet north to south. And on the east side of the room is a door. And on the southwest wall, there are two doors. And then there is a wheel. And if I recall correctly, it is dislodged and water is moving in that wheel.
Correct.
Yeah.
Did we want to jam that again? Because we thought
Yeah,
maybe
that's
that
what I was
was.
saying. Is I believe that is what caused the trap to work in the first place. Because we were told it seemed like water began to flow through the mechanisms again when we dislodged it.
So we will. There should be a piece of driftwood that we removed, and we will replace that into the wheel where it was.
You were not
previously
strong
jammed.
enough, but you have a giant troll, and he picks up
Yeah.
this huge beam, and he just slams it in there, and it grinds, and you hear all sorts of gears all around this place echoing and grinding, and some things like shooting loose and breaking, and it creates quite a clamor.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, let's. I don't think we checked out the door to the very far southwest. So
We
that's
did not.
this one. So let's go to that door.
Okay. You go to the southwest door. You see a large, somber room appointed perfectly like a traditional funerary preparation room, mortuary. Funerary tools, burial preparations for clergy and things like that. On the south
Is this
wall.
real quick? This is the one with the mirror.
Yes, but you said you went to it, so this happens. There's a massive
there two-
mirror. Oh, go
Quick
ahead.
question though: is both doors go to that same room then?
You're in
'Cause
static
there's two
from
doors.
somebody. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's you. There's some static coming from you, Colin. There's something.
Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can get that to fix. Is this better?
Does anybody else hear
No.
that?
Yes, I had.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, can you talk?
Let's see.
Oh.
If this is better.
Say some things.
Testing.
You're all good.
Yeah, something's
Oh,
Oh.
something.
No, you're not.
good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hope Zach's okay. We can hear you. Yeah, I'll let you know if it comes back. It's gone for now.
I adjusted the decibel thing, so hopefully it works
Nice.
better.
So, you go to the door. It's open. Massive mirror on the far wall. And it's intricately sculpted in a memento mori, mori fresco. Let's see.
What I'm confused about is whether there's two doors down here, right?
Yes.
And the one I wanted to go to was the further.
Yes.
So they both go to or seem to go to the same room.
You open it, and yes, it's the same room.
Okay.
That's
In
what I was confused about.
anywho, let's see. Aspar.
Caspar with a C.
How do I get Aspar?
I don't know. You spelled it right when you made the token, though.
Whoops. Okay, Caspar. So, what is the most important person to Caspar who is dead?
The most important person to Caspar?
Yes, who is dead.
He sees an old man in robes, I imagine.
An old man in robes appears and says, Caspar, what are you doing in this place? It will damn you.
The old man prostrates himself.
Please rise, my student.
Would that I could have studied under you, my lord 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈.
Oh, nice. Then you see a wicked looking. Well, I don't know how it'd be. However, knew him. So then, indeed, some sort of powerful, ancient, wizened wizard. So you all see him do this. Meanwhile, without going through everyone, you see the most important person to you. Of course, Jasir, you already know what this is.
Yeah.
I think Hans does, but
I think we all knew. I think we were all told. So I
Yeah.
imagine Sparrow would definitely back away and, tell the other sorcerer and the troll to back away as well.
Zelkor will say to Caspar, let me help you. What can I do to help you?
You have naught but to tell me how to serve.
All right, give me a second.
Sorry, guys, this might get ugly.
that's okay. We have been flying by the seat of our pants this whole campaign.
Well, if it goes horribly wrong, I don't have a lot of hit points for you to chew through. And also, my spells suck, so you're probably fine.
We might have a troll to deal with, so
I'm not sure that he's technically under me.
that's true.
I just talked to him a bunch.
Yeah, I think he's under us as a group, it seemed.
Yeah, and your Sparrow's the one who did the web, which was kind of the most effective. Plus the other Arian, what's his name, with the magic missile.
Yeah, all I did was talk ugly.
So what I'm thinking, I still want to use the troll to go down into the water, but the only thing we have is the chain that gives water breathing. I don't really want to give the troll a chain.
Well, I think when we get there, we can take a look to see if the water level's even going down slowly. And, I also believe there was more gold down there, right? I don't think you got all of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. I think that shield glows, so maybe the shield can give us some light. And I also memorized a light spell, so we'll be able to see this time.
Which direction is this pool of water that you're considering?
It is to our east.
Yeah, there's a library to the east here, which if it will let me ping, it's not going to let me, but there's a library to the east, and there's a trapdoor and ladder which goes down to a room with another statue, and that is flooded currently. It
if you
openings
look in the chat, I'll put a map of the area we're currently in right here.
I'm looking at the map. I'm trying to establish in my mind whether there's any connection between this watermill's outflow and that pool.
We think so.
Okay.
Because when we initially came, the mill was blocked, and when we unblocked it, the sounds we heard, it sounded like old pipes and stuff, like the water was beginning to flow through it again. And then we set off a trap, and that's when the water came into the room on the third floor. So I imagine the trap was tied to, I mean, hey,
I have returned.
That's where all of our hirelings drowned.
I had to teleport to somewhere else to determine the answer to this. Okay, I'm back. Save.
Can I roll a physical die? I don't know what my save is in this.
Oh, yeah.
Got a d20 here. I roll a 10. I needed a 15. Unless it was a spell, in which case I needed a 14.
He flickers, and you think you see something, and then you feel alarmed, and then all of a sudden he returns to this congenial form again. I
did fail the save.
Yes. Of a wise, kindly old wizard. And
sorry, I got disconnected there for a bit.
Oh, that's all right. Welcome back. So Zelkor says, "Yes, I need you to free me. I'm trapped. I need you to travel to the east of the coast of Albion. There, among the hills, along the rocky shores, you will find at the borderlands to the far north a well. One of your companions is ill, with terrible spirits and charms. He holds a powerful text. Within, I can use it to finally finish the deed that I came to these lands to do ages ago. Take the book from him and cast it into the well. And you are charmed.
Great. Can I make sure, just for my notes, that I wrote down all the right stuff that you said?
Yeah.
Ish. On the east of the coast of Albion, in the borderlands to the far north, there's a well. One of my companions is ill, and he holds a powerful text. With it, the old man can complete the work he set out to do all those years ago. I need to take the book and cast it into the well.
Bingo.
Okay.
None of your companions hear this. And he says, and he tells you as much. He's like, they cannot see me. I have come to you in this visage because I know that I can trust you.
My lord, they lack your vision.
Don't fail me. And he fades into nothing.
But wait, my lord.
Okay, he comes back.
Speak over me a blessing, I beg you, in the tongue of the light, that I may swell with power.
I will
and return.
I will use these blessings for their proper place and time, but I will give you another. Ask 3 questions, and I will give you 3 answers.
Okay. Which of my companions is ill, my lord?
Who's got the book? It's Sparrow, right?
Jasir, right?
Is it Jasir? Oh, it's Jasir. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
He points to Jasir.
How may I cure them?
Take the book when they are not noticing. Exit their service. Leave those lands.
None of you hear this, I hope.
Yeah, none of them hear it.
Okay, and my lord, what will be my reward?
You will join me in this great crusade to cleanse and change forever the face of the lands of Albion. We'll set right what was wrong centuries ago.
Was the worst commune I've ever done. Thank you, Ross.
And then he fades away.
Quick question, though. Seer could potentially still have Detect Evil active.
Yes.
And so that could possibly... You might sense through that some kind of interaction.
Yes. Yes, he would. Sensed...
I have ill intentions to him, not to harm him, but I am definitely planning to steal something of his at this point. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's great. There's 2 things that you sense, and they're distinct. The mirror was not evil. Casper was not evil. The mirror, when Casper started speaking to it and bowing to it, overwhelmingly evil. Casper has ill intentions now.
Jasir will be quiet about this for now, but keeps it in
Something
mind.
to keep in mind for you to just
Sorry.
Okay.
What does the centipede poison do?
It's a poison,
Ooh.
so it saves versus death.
Okay.
You take
you
the
gave it to
stinger
somebody
and
else.
sting it in somebody, and they save versus death. Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be very subtle. Sorry, I was asking for a friend. Ooh, I was asking for a friend.
Okay, we're next.
So we will go to the east.
Okay. You enter a library. It's L-shaped. On the northeast side of the library is a hatch going down, and there are 2 long rows of books.
We will have one person descend the ladder going down to see if they can ascertain when they start hitting water.
It's still flooded, but it's no longer rushing water. It's static now.
Okay. So it
Was there
doesn't seem
another-
to be going down either.
Let me look at my maps real quick. Was there a door down here?
And actually, let me. There was a door down there. Sorry.
Let's check that real quick. Just to see where it goes.
When you say check it, what do you mean?
So, well, we don't have Nissa, so we'll just, we'll just open it.
Okay. Do you open it?
We'll take the risk.
This is a square room that's 40 feet north to south and 30 feet east to west. You enter the southeast of the room, and inside the room, it looks like a potter's workplace, and it smells like lime in here. There's a cistern full of stuff in the corner, and a large wooden work table that dominates the western wall. The shelves, there are three shelves that line three shelves that line the northern wall. They are filled with 14 lime balls on ropes. They have engravings on them. And that is what's in this room, and there are no other exits.
Let's ask our charmed wizard, Chaos Wizard. Does he know anything about this?
Yes, I
Just
studied.
specify now, don't you?
What's that? Huh? I studied the texts in the other room, my lords. The primitives that once inhabited these lands and worshipped the gods of this place, that being we're trying to deface, they used these. They were like magic weapons of a kind. They engraved symbols of their gods onto the slime and to the balls. They could be used as weapons, I think. But to what end, I don't know. To what curse or blessing they might bestow, I'm not sure.
Well, let's see. We have that armor with the water breathing, and I can cast light on, or actually that shield. Is that shield still glowing that Jasir has?
Yep.
Okay. Then what I propose is I or somebody else who wants to can descend down into that water with the shield and the water-breathing armor. And probably examine the statue down there and see if there's any way to, any kind of niche or anything to manipulate it.
I think also, check for any additional gold down there.
Okay. I assume no one else is going to go with Jasir. Is that right? Because you can't breathe
No one
underwater.
else would be able to.
So yeah,
How
so
long is the swim?
you could try to swim. It's dark too. It's a small room, 60 feet tall, 30 feet wide, 40 feet north to south or something. You want to
The
try to
old
swim?
man is a
Cyril-
creature of exceptional constitution. He'll try it. Of course, he'll circle back and come up for air if he feels like it. He won't make it.
Okay.
Yeah, Jasir
He'll
can
set a length of rope with those who are behind, and say if I yank on it twice, pull me back.
The main problem with the you may not know this. I'm actually of note. Jasir has magical armor which lets him breathe underwater. Just okay. The other thing is, and this is a problem sort of all of you have right now. It's dark and you have no way of seeing.
That's why I was asking if the shield was produced enough light to see by.
Oh yeah, it
Does
glows.
glow?
I will say
Yeah.
it glows like candlelight, so it gives you 5 feet.
Very dim. Okay.
So you can examine something with it, but you're not going to be able to navigate by it except by walls.
Yeah, then I will go ahead and cast light to add to the illumination of the shield.
That works, and the wizard will also be able to see if you try to swim. So you two can see the following. It's actually a 30 feet by 30 foot room. There's a door on the south wall and a statue in here. The statue is... you got all the gold out. There are no coins left. The statue is missing its armor, of course. But it shows a statue with like a warrior. Some sort of warrior god. And I don't think there's anything else of note in this room. You can see frescoes on the walls depicting the raw natural beauty of the sea. The statue is marble. It rises proudly at the center, almost from floor to ceiling.
How's the detect evil going?
Detect evil. I think you're probably going to be out of that by now. I haven't been tracking exactly, but it's been...
Okay.
Yeah.
It has 1 hour, so yeah, we've probably gone through that much.
Yeah. You did that pretty early
Six
on, I
turns.
think. Yeah. No, there haven't been 6 turns. It's been like going on 5 turns. So yeah, detect evil. Yeah. Okay. So detect evil. You detect evil further beyond the door and down.
Okay.
The door is like a stone slab which slams shut when the trap is triggered.
You also hear whispers beyond the door. Because the wizard is here, they recognize the whispers. They are in Drunic. It is an invitation. It says, "Come and join me for infinite power."
Going from behind the door.
Is this like a repeated drone, or is this something said once when we approach?
He's saying more stuff too, like he's assuring you the solutions to all the small problems that seem so large. How so many things that seem so far beyond you are easily within your grasp if you simply come and join him now. You get 2 or 3 of those kind of platitudes, and then it fades.
Self-help guru of chaos.
Yeah.
Jasir will go around the periphery of the room and look for the openings which let the water in. And particularly he's trying to figure out how big they are.
There are vents on the side in the rooms where it looks like water was brought into the room. Yeah, that is to say, it doesn't look like water is naturally meant to be in this room. In fact, it looks like if you could smash open the room, it would probably just make, or open the room at all, it would probably just make the water flood out.
Yeah.
Or if you could get the mechanism in the vents to like suck instead of, simply open, if some sort of motive force, but
We're still submerged at this moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the old man will start swimming for the door.
Okay. What do you do at the door?
Which direction does it open? Can I see a hinge?
It opens out, and it has a handle. It looks like it's under a lot of pressure. It opens away from the room.
Whoa. And it's still holding closed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The old man will look to the Crusader and look back to the door.
You're the one who's tied, right? If
I
we
have a
open
rope.
this, it's gonna flood. Like the water's just gonna whoosh. So
Yeah.
Jasir will head back towards the ladder and start to get out of the water so that he doesn't get washed into the next room.
If you try to open the door, you'll find that the mechanism to open it is, it requires great strength to do so.
Okay. Presumably not strength I can exert very well underwater.
But if you
How
tie
does...
if you tie the rope, we have the troll up the thing, and the troll can just yank the rope, right?
We're hoping to pull it this way toward us off of its hinges. It opens. So okay, we're here. It opens this way.
Yeah.
We're hoping to pull it this way.
No, that'll
off
work.
the hinges?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's a great idea. So you tie a rope up to it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Have the troll just like, and then like almost like snap the rope, but it bulges the door and it just, and all of a sudden just water just like gives way and it floods into the next hallway, and then it sumps down at the bottom of the hallway and eventually sinks down and the room is left without water.
Okay.
We want to bring the rest of the party down now since we figured it out. We're good to go. All right, so everyone will come down into the statue room.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and then what? Get the statue. It's wet. Everything's wet. And the door is ripped off of its hinges. And there's a hallway past the door, and it snakes back and forth a little bit beyond the hallway. You can see in the hallway that it's there are carvings of the god in the previous room, depicted cleansing some sort of curse from gold. It looks like he's like casting a spell over piles of gold.
Do we notice anything about the statue which seems like, buttons to press, movable, anything, any kind of reach or anything like that?
Nope. Nothing like that.
And the floor is all stone?
Yeah, let me check here. There is door seals. Nothing else of interest in this room. You scoured it. You got all the coins. Nothing else on the statue. Yeah.
Well, if we went to advance to the south, we said? Yeah, I think it was south.
Yeah.
Okay. This hallway, the water eventually leaves it. Okay, I already rolled that. At this point, that will have been an hour. Your detect evil goes out. And it terminates in a wall, which the mural is not on. There's no mural on the far wall. The rest of the hallway is has murals.
We have like a spear or something we can poke or search the wall that doesn't have the mural and see if there's any way, either it's illusory or
You want to try to poke it?
Yeah.
You can use a spear. As usual, my thing is use a spear. If there's an effect on the wall, you will receive the effect. Whereas with a 10-foot pole, you won't.
Someone have a 10-foot pole? I'm not sure if anyone brought one. Just here doesn't.
No. I think somebody had it. Did you have a spear? No, Wyman, I think.
Yeah, I do have a spear, yes.
You want to let him borrow the spear, or you want to do it, or who wants to do it?
Sure, I'll borrow it. I'll borrow it.
Okay. All right, you take the spear, poke the wall, and the wall gives. It's obviously like a slot. It's a rotating wall.
And what can we see beyond?
Okay.
I still have the light spell going, so I'll hold the shield up and go look.
There is a rectangular room here that's 30 feet north to south and about 60 feet east to west. The sorcerer says, "Welcome to my laboratory. Although it's ruined. It's ruined. No matter. We're so close to finally finding our lord." And there's a ruined alchemical equipment here. If it weren't ruined, it would be worth thousands of gold pieces, but it was flooded. So all of it is destroyed, including many vials of different potions and stuff. And scrolls. All of it flooded.
Okay. At this point, the old man will approach the Chaos Sorcerer and say, whisper to him in Drunic and say, "My friend, your robes will get all damp if you walk on this floor. Let me truss them up for you."
What do you do?
Well, if he'll let me, I'm going to truss up his help him lift his robe off the ground by tying it off
Okay.
with a bit of rope.
He won't stop you, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do the same with his sleeves.
Okay.
Of course, I'm standing behind him as I do this, and I'll take out my dagger and look to the others, and I'll nod and shake my head. And we doing this?
Well, that is Sparrow's decision.
It is not mine.
Did you bring the troll down here?
Good
Could
question.
I can fit.
He would if he destroyed the hatch. If he ripped open the hatch and tore off part of it. And then if he basically if he destroyed everything on his way in. Yeah. He would also destroy the doors.
I would say not for now.
Okay. All right, so
Yeah.
you're thinking about killing the sorcerer here?
Proposing it merely. The opportunity has arisen, and he's shown us his stock of his things.
I would shake my head no.
All of his
The
stuff
dagger
is
goes
destroyed,
away.
to be clear.
And we simply respectfully tie off his long robe sleeves and such, so that he is not sullied by the water.
And, sorry, I also didn't mention, beyond here is another door to the south.
Do we still hear any of that whispering?
Yes,
From,
absolutely.
and it continues. Is it in this room or is it
Beyond,
still coming
the
from
door
south?
beyond, yeah, to the south.
Okay. Well, I'll inquire with the sorcerer. So how far, what do you mean that we're close? What does that mean?
I didn't have the courage to enter, but it's clear to me that the master had appointed you for this task. And he looks at the armor. I never interfaced with the statue. I had taken my time, but your courage in taking that armor it's obviously that was what it had intended. Come, I'll show you. He opens the door and goes onto the other side.
To the south.
Yep.
Okay.
Square room. And there is a bridge overlooking water. And a sign in some kind of script. I don't think anybody can read this language. There's obviously some sort of magical energy, and then a sheer cliff just going into rushing water. And he points to the archway with the script and the rushing water, and he says, "The gateway to our master."
So this is a bridge.
Yeah, it goes somewhere
Is it?
else.
Okay.
And
this
this
is
is
an
this,
arch,
this is
or-
sort of open. Okay, so this room, it sort of opens into the cavern, right? And this is a cliff, and it just goes right down into the water below. And so you can see the cavern, and there's like a cliff face on the opposite side that you can see. This bridge goes into another room somewhere on the other side. There's an archway that looks like it would go into a room, but instead of it going into a room, it just goes into a cliff. And then it has a script on the cliff on the archway. Yeah.
And I'm guessing the whispering might be coming from the.
That's right.
back. Okay. Goodness. Well, does Jasir feel anything from the Geish that he's afflicted with?
I don't think you'd feel anything because you haven't. You the thing is that that spell was not to. It was not to. It was not to the blade. It was to the sorcerer. So the requirement of that spell is not upon you yet. You still have till the end of next month. So
got it. All right. Let's see.
But yes, I think I mean it's obvious. There is some blade down there. This guy thinks it's his master, his blade. Is it the same one that you're looking for? Well, it seems to be at the bottom of a seabed. But yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, it's not off the coast of Anjumar.
How far down is this cliff? What's the length of the drop?
Like 20 feet.
I mean, we could hold a rope for you.
Yeah, we could hold a rope, and I could also have the armor on so I could breathe under the water.
I think I
still
should clarify. I apologize. This is like rushing water, right? This is a one-way trip. So if you go wherever these tides take you, you'll go there, and that's it.
Okay.
What's the distance?
If we called a troll down, would a troll be strong enough to hold a rope with Jasir on it?
Well, I think you would still be like bouncing around in the water as soon as you touched it.
Yeah.
Rather than sinking like a rock or anything.
Yeah. What were you saying, Martin?
I think I was asking kind of the same question. What's the distance to this?
And what are your all's intentions? Like, tell me kind of what you're thinking you want to do,
I was seeing if we could rappel down into the water, but if it's rushing that fast, then it would just wash away. So,
I have an interesting idea.
Go for it.
Could a web be used by? So I already used my second level spell slot, but could my companion use a web in the water to slow Jasir down so he wouldn't be pulled away by the current?
It would, but you'd be. What's your intention? Is your intention to just look down there and see what's down there, so that that you can decide more? Is the goal to get more information? What's your intention? What's your goal?
Oh, I think to allow Jasir to go down there and not be swept away by the water.
Okay. If you're trying to go down there and just see what's there, so obviously the intention of this thing is to take you away. That's obviously what this is doing. But if you just want to look, you can see this is a raging like a raging current. So there's nothing there. Like there's nothing immediately down below. This is a raging current that goes somewhere else.
I'm guessing that this is a kind of portal or teleport.
It's about the bravery of Jasir.
But it's not. So ultimately, do you want to do this thing and take this raging current somewhere, or you're like, no, I am not going to take this raging current somewhere? But below you, that is all you're going to see. So if you repel or have something hold you or web you, you're going to see a raging current. And if you were like in a web, it'd be like chaos, as you're getting buffeted. Do you want to keep exploring? Do you want to not to take that current, or do you want to take the current? That's kind of the question. And everybody else, my guess is, do y'all have any ideas? You've got one person that can breathe water. Does anybody else have any ideas?
I don't have any other ideas. I think in my mind it's up to Jasir if he wants to take the risk or not.
I think we'll continue
What is the
across.
relationship that this guy who just told you that this is where you're supposed to go has with the Crusader? In my estimation, having watched them interact a few times.
I
Does
think
he feel like he's trying to get him killed?
no. He it speaks to you all reverently. He thinks that you were like appointed by what to him feels like a divine master.
I'll ask him in Drunic. Caspar will say, what makes you think that this blade is the one you seek?
Because I know his voice.
Whose voice?
The
Speak it
master's.
quiet now.
Yeah, you won't get his name out. He'll say, the master.
A master whose name you fear to speak.
Of course. All should fear
Tell
his
me,
name.
tell me more of this master. What were his epithets? What were his features?
He is a blade, but he can work through the blade, and legend has that he could take form, the form of a great monster, even something that can devour an entire land, that he could fly, that he could appear in multiple places at once. He is, I think, a god.
Oh, you're a clever man. What if this master of yours could take form and fly? Why could he not also swim? Why would he need us to submerge ourselves rather than rising up to meet someone who ought to wield his power?
I don't think he needs us at all. I think that we are simply for his amusement.
What would amuse him about a man who is in no danger whatsoever, swimming amongst the waves, doing precisely that? There's no more amusing than a fish.
My vision is so much smaller than his. I guess that is what you see in me. He bows.
No, perhaps your vision is greater than mine, for you seem to see some purpose in this, when I see only an error.
Do you claim an error where there shouldn't be one?
I
Threatening
claim
tone.
no error in your master's plan, merely in our perception of it. Are we certain that what we see is what he would have us see? Or perhaps is he arrayed for us some greater mystery, of which this is some mere part, a trap, a gate, if you will, to weed out those who are unfit?
He'll enter into entire discourse with it, and so you. By the way, everyone else is like you need to hold your ears, or like you need to go into another room or something. But like, meanwhile, with these two, he'll talk about how he had thought just that, and he had came here and he was taking his time, and there's this entire vast library of books above, and in fact, this one, he points to Jasir, has a text that is one of the most powerful texts in the world, and that he had suspected just these things, that he did not simply want to pass through the gate unworthily, and he confirms your fears. Yeah, maybe this is, maybe he'll simply perish, but even perhaps that is the master's will. So there's this whole, he could have a whole discourse about it. Now, we're 5 minutes to the end of time, so we have two big choices that we can make. One choice is you can take the risk of this gateway and see what happens. The other one is you can say neither not at all or some other time, then you return to the tavern. What would you like to do?
This is a some other time one for Jasir because he would want to prepare specific spells for this endeavor.
Very well.
Which he does not have right now.
We should consult your text.
You would say
Why do you
that.
laugh? See, your wise friend said that it may hold the answers to this conundrum.
It might be worth it. I believe you told us there were 5 more tales within it.
Where do you keep the troll?
Is he willing to stay in the ruined temple area? And
He is
Okay.
utterly willing to serve you, given the great feast he was given, and the demonstration of power you showed. So I think you now have an escort in this dungeon if you want.
yeah, I assume we leave him basically where he was residing before.
Okay.
And he has permission to eat the little goblins if he wants to.
All right. Suddenly, you all are the evil sorcerers in the dungeon, but this is how this works, I guess. And you make it back to 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖊𝖗 safely to the tavern by that evening. And it's packed and you're muddy and wet and covered in disgusting stuff. And people once again look at you. And the young lady, she eyes you warily as you enter, reeking of strange smelling things, including, let me make sure I have this right, including the smell of lime. And that ends our adventure for the night. Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.